My name is Sonia Luthra and I'm back with another YouTube session. And as I promised you that, in the fundamental course of YouTube session, there will be 5 classes. So this is the last class of the fundamental course. And this class is going to be about the speaking module. I hope you people can, hear me properly, and am I visible to you all properly? Just checking the audio. Hey Parminder. Just checking the audio. So, in this fundamental course, we already had 4 classes. In which we discussed about writing, listening, reading in 2 parts. This is the very last session in the fundamental course. Good morning everybody. Good morning everybody. And if you are new to the YouTube channel, I would like to tell you that this is my Telegram group and this is my Instagram page. If you want to ask anything regarding your preparation or regarding your processing of file, you may contact me directly on this Telegram group, or you can directly message me on my Instagram page. I would also like to tell you that if you are somebody who is a very new user of the Unacademy platform and you're watching the video at Unacademy channel for the very first time, I think you are missing out on a lot. You should download the Unacademy learning app right now from either the Android Play Store or iOS, or you should log into the Unacademy website, because you have a lot of free special classes which you can attend without paying anything. However, if you are looking for a concrete preparation, or if you are looking a specific expert guidance, then you can definitely join our Plus platform. For doing so, what you have to do is you have to use my code SONIA10, and the Plus platform has more than 30 plus of live classes, or you can say 30 plus of live hours of live classes, wherein you can have regular classes on the different modules, right? And to do so, what exactly you have to do is you have to download the Unacademy Learner app either by the Android or by the iOS market, or you can directly log into the website. Once you have logged in, select your goal as IELTS. Once you have selected your goals, now go to subscribe now. Once you click on subscribe now, you will see this particular page wherein you have different type of subscription plans, and as per your convenience, you can select one of the subscription plans, but I particularly suggest my students to go for a 3-month subscription plan, because it is better to spend 3 months and pay 6,750 rather than paying 13,250 every time you book your exam and fail the exam and then demoralize. Okay. However, still at the end, it is your choice that which subscription plan you're opting for. Select the subscription plan, and just below that you'll have this rectangular box wherein sure, Parminder, I'm gonna send you the writing notes just after this particular YouTube session, okay? I'm gonna send it to you definitely. Parminder, do me a favor, Parminder. Just drop me your email in the group. Drop me your email in the group and I'll be sending you everything in the PDF format. wherein you can read it from the PDF, or maybe you can take the printout of those as well. So yes, just beneath the subscription plans, you have a rectangular box wherein you have to apply a referral code. So my referral code is SONIA10. And by applying this, write this referral code here, click on apply, and then proceed to pay. By applying this code, you will have like two benefits. One, you will get a 10% off. Second thing is that I personally will be taking your one-on-one speaking on telephone, as well as I'll be assessing your writing essays as well. I would also like to talk here about the Topper series, wherein Topper series is one of the special courses going on the Unacademy Plus platform, wherein all the toppers, like I am one of the toppers because I scored overall 8.5 and 8 in academic and general training. Apart from that, I scored 9 in listening, I scored 9 in reading. So I'm one of the toppers. Me along with 3 other toppers are taking care of the series, wherein we'll be sharing our secret tips with you, that how did we able to achieve this high score, right? So the schedule for the class is here. So this class has already been completed, these 2 classes, but there are still 3 upcoming classes. Today 7 p.m, tomorrow 7 p.m, and on 31st also the class will be starting at 7 to 8 p.m. for 1 hour. And to attend these classes, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to download the Learning Unacademy app. That's all exactly what you have to do. So what are you waiting for, guys? This is a golden opportunity wherein you are going to learn from the toppers, and do not miss out on these. Do not miss out on these. So today's enough about here and there. Now directly come to this particular group, this particular session. The aim of this session is I am gonna talk about that what exactly works and what does not work when it comes to your speaking module IELTS. We will remove your doubt, fear and uncertainty, give you advice, tools and strategies you need to move to a band 7 or above in your speaking module. What it is based on, this particular session is completely, solely, entirely based on the official marking criteria, which is the band descriptor. I hope you all are aware of what a band descriptor is. You can say it is the Bible of speaking IELTS, wherein IDP and British Council has set some requirements as per the bands. Okay. This particular course is not about, this particular course is not a miracle cure, of course. I don't have a wand wherein I'm gonna say abracadabra and you people will start speaking English from the next day onwards, that too very fluently, correct? So I don't have any, you can say miracle. This is not a miracle cure. I am not gonna give you a medicine which you will take and you'll be able to speak English very well. I don't promise that. I'm not gonna promise sun and moon to you, of course, but we will be talking on the realistic goals. We can show you exactly what to do, but it is up to you whether you put in your efforts. Of course, I can tell you that these are some certain tips which you have to follow. However, following them solely depends on you. This is not, of course, a quick fix. If you want to be lied, go somewhere else. If you are somebody who does not want to work, who does not want to put efforts, then please, this is not the session for you. I think you should go to some other session and attend those. We will be talking about the overview of the speaking test, the marking criteria, strategy for each part of the test, how can we improve the grammar, vocabulary, fluency, coherence, and the pronunciation. These are the 4 parameters on the basis of which your speaking module is gauged, and how you can practice at your home for speaking. Let's quickly start with the overview of the speaking test now. So like in the speaking test, you have 3 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. So let me quickly tell you, the part 1 is your introduction. Part 2 is long turn. Part 3 is analytical discussion. Okay. So in the introduction, as I told you, that all these 3 parts are different and the strategies to attend these 3 parts are also different. So one by one, now we are going to talk about every single part. Typical part 1 questions, like part 1 is more of the introduction question, wherein your examiner are going to ask you the questions which are totally dependent on you. It's all about you. So I think nobody can actually get them wrong, because examiner are going to ask you questions about you. What kind of place is your hometown? What's the most interesting part of your town? What kind of jobs do the people do in your town? So these all questions required a short answer. Okay. Typical part 2 question, if I talk about, like in this, why do we call it a long turn? Because this is a monologue wherein a topic along with some hints will be given to you, and you have to prepare your answer and speak on it for at least 1.5 minutes, or until your examiner stops you. So this is a monologue. If I talk about the typical part 3 questions, let's consider first of all how people values have changed. What kind of things give status to people in your country? So these are more of the googly questions, wherein examiner would like to check the presence of your mind. Okay. There are 3 sections, and of course there are 3 different styles of answering the question, which I keep on telling again and again that please do not treat every single part of speaking, or do not treat every type of question in reading, listening in similar way, because every question type, every part of speaking test a different sub-skill of your. As I talked about for part 1, these are normal familiar topics that require a very short answer. And these questions are all about you. So you can definitely not get them wrong. When it comes to part 2, as I have already told you, this is a monologue wherein you have to talk at length on a certain topic. When it comes to the part 3 is more abstract question, where you do not have any idea. Your examiner may ask you anything just to check your presence of mind, just to check your thinking, the way you think. Okay. Now the strategy for part 1. Now let's quickly jump to the strategy part wise. So when it comes to the strategy for part 1, it is impossible to get these wrong. They're asking about you. You simply answer them in the same way you would be if you were talking to a friend, classmate or colleague. So you don't have to sound monotonous when it comes to part 1, because these are like the normal question. What do you do? Where are you living right now? How did you reach here today? So these are some very basic questions which I personally don't think that you have to memorize, correct? Because in the first part as well, we have variety of questions. You cannot learn every single question, right? So don't try to memorize the part 1. These questions are more or less similar as if you're talking to one of your friends or your classmate or your colleague. Excuse me. Simply answer the question and then add extra details, explanations or examples. Do not count sentences. However, most good answers are between 2 to 5 sentences depending on the questions. So, there are a lot of trainers who would tell you that when it comes to part 1, only speak 2 lines. When it comes to, part 3, speak 3 lines. So every question is different and we cannot fix number of lines. Some questions may require a short answer, but there are some questions which may require a lengthy answer. So that completely depends on the type of question that has been asked by the assessor. Now, let's quickly have a part 1 strategy. What do you like about living there? What do you like about living there? I like it because it's quiet and peaceful. I like it because it's quiet and peaceful. This particular answer is too short. If you are going to tell your examiner that I like it because it's quiet and peaceful, then this particular answer is too short and you will probably end up getting 5 or 5.5. If somebody answers, I like the shops, the amenities, the people, the peaceful atmosphere, the open spaces and the schools there. This is just a list. This is just a bunch of things that you like about that place and you're just telling your examiner the list of things. That's all. But that's not a fully developed idea. That's not a fully developed idea, right? So actual answer should be, I like it because it's quiet and peaceful. That's your basic idea. That's your topic sentence. It's on the outskirts of the city and there are no other houses or factories around it which means there's very little noise, right? As I told you, topic sentence बताया, topic sentence के बाद उसको explain किया, explain करने के बाद example से उसको justify किया. The same strategy which we follow in our writing, that point बोला, उसको explain किया, उसको example दिया, उसको summarize किया. So the same PEES we can follow when it comes to, our speaking module as well. So my basic idea was, why do I like here? Why do I like it here? Why? Because it's quiet and peaceful. Now I'm gonna explain why it is peaceful and why it is quiet here. It's on the outskirts of the city and there are no other houses or factories around it, which means there's very little noise. So at night, now I'm giving a personal example. In writing, you cannot give a personal example, but in speaking, you have all the freedom of the world to give the personal examples. Personal examples will engage your examiner with you and you will end up getting good bands. Okay? So at night, we can sit outside as a family and have dinner and chat in peace. Right? So that's the part 1 strategy example. There is one more question. What kind of jobs do the people in your town do? Now, let's read the first answer. This is an interesting question which I will divulge the answer to henceforth. Due to the developing nature of our conurbation, the employment opportunities have been waning in the recent times and the categories of employment are various. Total nonsense. The speaker has used variety of fancy words. But do you actually think that whenever you talk to your friend, would you talk like this? I like to live here because I love so many things like people, facilities and the shops as well as very peaceful at post. Parminder, the answer which you are giving is again a list. जो आंसर परमिंदर आपने दिया उसमें आप फिर एक लिस्ट की बात कर रहे हो. आपने क्या किया? आपने 3-4 चीजें जो आप लाइक करते हो उनको कॉमा की हेल्प से बता दिया. ठीक है? सो दिस इज अगेन अ लिस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट यू लाइक, बट इट्स नॉट अ फुली डेवलप्ड आंसर. इफ यू सी हियर, हमने अपना जो एक्चुअल आंसर है वो कैसे दिया है. आई टोल्ड माई एग्जामिनर दैट आई लाइक इट बिकॉज इट्स क्वाइट एंड इट्स पीसफुल. नाउ आई एम गोना टेल माई एग्जामिनर why it is peaceful and why it is quiet. It is peaceful and quiet because my area is on outskirts and there are no houses facilities. There are no other houses facilities. That's why it is quiet and peaceful, correct? I hope you have understood that, Parminder. Coming to the next question which I have shown you, is question mein So basically, what exactly we are gonna do here is like, this is not the way we actually talk to our friends, right? Most people are unskilled laborers. It's not a very rich town and most people are not educated. So they tend to get jobs as workers in factories or in construction. For example, there's a new factory on the edge of town that makes electronics and many people found unemployment there recently. So we have taken a point that most of the people are unskilled laborers. And of course, this particular town is not a very rich town where people are not much educated, and that's why they tend to get jobs as workers in factories. And then just to support it, I have talked about a recent factory which has opened up in my town and people have got a job there. Correct? So point, explanation and example. We are gonna every time follow the same thing: idea, explanation and an example. Now for the part 2 strategy, this is where it gets a little tricky for some students, but it does not need to be. Many students are not used to speaking for 2 minutes. The main reasons why students mess this up is because lack of practice. They don't practice enough. Lack of feedback. They practice but they don't have a proper guidance. Misinformation about the test. Problems which we face is that you have, given a question and you have given a cues. But what you people try to do is you people try to build your answer around these hints only. However, you have choice. That these are certain cues that you can build your answer around. Introduce the topic, describe the topic, say how you feel about the topic, tell a personal story, use an example, talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future, use the bullet points. So यहाँ ज़रूरी नहीं है. पार्ट 2 में मैं आपको एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन बताती हूँ कि जो भी क्यूज आपको दिए गए हैं वो सिर्फ इसलिए दिए गए हैं, आपको वो हिंट्स दिए गए हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर आपको 4 हिंट्स दिए गए हैं तो आप चारों को यूज करेंगे, एंड जरूरी नहीं है कि आप इन्हीं हिंट्स के अराउंड अपना आंसर बनाएंगे. आप इन हिंट्स के अलावा भी अगर आपको कुछ आता है आप बोल सकते हैं. Maybe the question is describe something you own which is very important to you. I wanted to talk about where I got it from. I have a laptop which is gifted by my father on my 18th birthday. Now I just want to talk about, I don't want to talk about how long have I been how long I have this laptop for, but I want to talk about why do I use my laptop. So I said I have a laptop which has been gifted to me by my father on my 18th birthday, and I use my laptop for various purposes, like making my projects, playing games, and attending a lot of online classes as well. But I don't want to talk about why it is important to me. So I have used only 2 cues. And apart from that, I want to talk about how did I felt about receiving a laptop as a gift, right? So I can certainly, talk about something else which I personally feel is comfortable with. So these are some, points which you can definitely add as per your convenience in your part 2. You must talk about the main topic and you must do it fluently up to 2 minutes. However, you do not need to stick to the bullet points, the same point which I've just told you, that you do not need to stick to the bullet points. Talk about them in order or even talk about them at all. So it's not required that you have to include all the bullet points given to you in your speaking, and it is not even necessary that you talk about even one of them. So you can build your answer around these points and you will end up getting good bands. Okay? Now, again, I didn't want to talk about how long you have had it. I don't want to explain why it is important to me. I just want to talk about that where I got it from. My father has gifted it to me and I use it for various purposes. Now I would actually like to talk about that, how I felt when I received it as a gift. So उससे मेरा आंसर गलत नहीं होगा. मैं आपको बार बार बोलती हूँ, talk and read something which you are comfortable in. If you are gonna talk about, something you are interested in, then definitely you will end up talking fluently. But if you are going to talk about something that you're not talking, like you're not comfortable talking in, then definitely you'll, end up messing up with your fluency. You'll end up messing up with your tenses, because while speaking, you will also be thinking in Hindi or Punjabi or in your respective native places, native languages, and you will be converting them in the English simultaneously and end up committing mistakes. Okay? So add a personal story, add a description of it, add the future, that in future also I'm going to use my laptop for various purposes, as I'm going to joining a university and I'll be getting a lot of projects, right? So my question was, describe something you own which is very important to you. I have a laptop which has been gifted to me by my father on my 18th birthday. And I use it for various purposes as of now. I play games on it, I study online, I make various projects, and I felt overwhelmed when I received this laptop, because all of my other friends had the laptop at that moment. I was the only one left out. So I wanted a laptop very much, and I received it, and I was on cloud 9 after receiving the laptop from my father. Okay. And the laptop is not a very, you can say, high-end laptop, but it solves my purpose. It is a Lenovo H3 14-inch laptop. You can describe the laptop. And in future as well, I'm gonna use this laptop because I'll be soon joining the university and will be receiving a lot of homework, which I would be, of course, doing with the help of my laptop. Correct? So this is the way you actually gonna build your answer. So please make sure that you all are following. Just write down these points, just learn these points, that these are certain points around which I can actually build my cue card, right? So of course, like part 2 strategy, as I told you, you need not to use all the bullet points, or you need not to use them at all. I have given you a list of, questions which you can use while developing your ideas for your cue card. And make sure that you should practice well with a proper guidance before you take your exam. And once you practice this strategy enough, it will be like a riding bike. You'll feel like, it's very comfortable, because you are only and only talking about the things that you feel comfortable talking about, correct? Because I have not given you a foundation that these are the 4 questions, you have to stick to that. No, not at all. So I have given you a set of questions. Think that this is something that I would like to talk about, then talk about it, because in that way you will firstly not sound like a robot, because whenever you memorize your answers you sound like robot, which I don't want you to, because you'll end up losing your bands. Sound natural, and when you are going to talk about something that you personally like, then you will definitely be sounding natural. Okay. Now, coming to the part 3. Part 3, in my opinion, is the most difficult part, because it requires you to discuss the ideas and develop your answers fully. Here you need analytical thinking. Here you need presence of mind. Your state of mind matters a lot in this particular, section. Do not worry if you get a very difficult question. The examiner will ask you more difficult question if they think you are good. The key is to attempt the questions and do your best. So basically, if you are somebody who is getting difficult questions in your speaking test, so समझ जाना कि आपका examiner आपको जानबूझकर difficult question दे रहा है, because he wanted to check your limit. He want to push your boundaries. अगर आपसे डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं पार्ट 3 में, डू नॉट पैनिक प्लीज. एंड आप ये सोच लो कि बॉस मैंने अभी 7 क्रॉस कर लिया है, 7 बैंड तो मेरे आ ही गए, अब उससे ऊपर एग्जामिनर इज ट्राइंग टू पुश मी फॉर 7.5 and 8 bands. Okay. Typical part 3 questions would be like, let's consider first of all how people values have changed. What kind of things give status to people in your country? Have things changed since your parents' time? Finally, let's talk about the role of advertising. Do you think advertising influences what people buy? So these are some typical part 3 questions. Strategy 1 for part 3. Understand the question. Okay. Do not be afraid to ask the examiner 2 questions. Can you please repeat the question? What does X means? Which means, what does ecotourism mean? Do not be afraid to ask your examiner. Do not afraid to seek for the clarification. If there is a word or if there is a sentence which you cannot understand, then try to ask your examiner. Try to ask your examiner for it, okay? Rather than giving a wrong answer, try to clarify it. For example, what are the drawbacks of low cost air travel? And question was this, but I could not hear travel. I could not travel. I could not hear air. Okay. And I started giving my answer that, low cost travel like buses, public transportation is very helpful because it helps in the environmental, solving the environmental issues as well, and blah, 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 blah. I could not hear the air properly and I have just assumed that there is nothing, and the examiner is asking about low cost travel, but I ended up giving a wrong answer. Instead, I would have asked my examiner, low cost what? Could you please repeat it? I could not understand the question completely. Could you please repeat it for me? So you may ask for certain explanation, but try not to ask explanation frequently, but 1 or 2 times if you are asking the clarification, if you are clarifying your doubts with your examiner, there's no problem. So first thing first, for the part 3, understand the question properly, then only you will be able to give the proper answers. Strategy to attempt the question. If you get a difficult question, you should be very happy, as I've already told you that examiner is just trying to push your boundaries. Don't laugh or say something like that's a difficult question. If you have really no idea, be honest with the examiner. अगर आपको बिल्कुल भी क्वेश्चन का मतलब नहीं समझ आ रहा, don't try to give the wrong answer. Instead, honestly tell your examiner that I have no clue about this. Could you please change my question? Okay. And don't be afraid to lie. Stories बनाओ. आपसे पूछा गया, supposedly your examiner might have asked you something that क्या आपने लाइफ में कभी ये किया है और आपने नहीं किया, बट आपने देखा जरूर है टीवी पे. For example, your examiner might have asked you about beaches, but you never have been to any beaches, but you might have seen the beaches scenes in movies or in any series. So you could cook your story using that picturization and the imagination. So don't be afraid to lie, because examiner does not have any lie detector, okay? As far as your fluency is good, your grammar is good, examiner is not going to say anything to you, even if you lie to the examiner. Okay, so don't be afraid of lying. Yes, develop your answer fully. I keep on telling you that develop your answer fully. It is imperative that you fully address the question asked. Think of it as a task to IELTS writing question. You need explanation and the examples. The examiner must understand your position on the question. So same जो मैं अभी तक आपको throughout session बता रही थी, your idea, explanation, example and optional. जो मैं हमेशा आपको बताती हूँ, मैंने आपको ये strategy भी बताई थी. Oreo, right? Your opinion, उस opinion, उसके बाद उस opinion का reason, उससे रिलेटेड एग्जाम्पल एंड उसका अदर साइड. करेक्ट? Excuse me, guys. So opinion, reason and example, and the other side are like you can use this Oreo strategy, or you can use this PEES जो मैं writing में कराती हूँ बच्चों को. PEES. So you can follow either one of them to fully develop your answer. That is the end of this particular session, guys. Do you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt? If you don't have any doubt, like if you even have a doubt later on, you can definitely get in touch with me either on my Telegram group, or like this is CRACKIELTS with Sonia. This is my Instagram ID. So you can get in touch with me on my Instagram for any further queries. So guys, I hope you are keeping yourself safe, and in this pandemic situation, please be safe and be at home. Keep washing your hands and keep learning with Unacademy app. And also please do not forget to like and subscribe, like the video and subscribe the channel for further videos. And also press the bell icon if you haven't done yet, so that you do not miss out on any new videos on this channel. Okay, then I'm gonna see you very soon in my next YouTube session. And again, I would like to remind you that the topper series is already going on. So please go ahead and attend that topper series. Attend that topper series on Unacademy Plus platform, and for that you have to download the Unacademy learning app, and or you can also log into the Unacademy website and register yourself and go to IELTS goal, and then look for the special classes. Special classes are absolutely free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for that. So please do not miss out on this golden opportunity wherein the toppers are sharing the secrets of getting high band scores with you people. Okay, bye bye guys, and I'm gonna see you very soon in my next YouTube session. Till then, please take care and let's crack it together. Bye bye.